All right, we're gonna give this another go. I'm gonna start talking about the Timberwolves. I'll do every team hopefully before the season starts, which means more than in one video a day. We'll see if I stay motivated. We'll start with the Karl Anthony Towns trade. I'm a Timberwolves fan. I'm frustrated. I knew it was coming. I think everybody knew it was coming, but I think the hope was that one, it would have happened like a year later, maybe two. We had a lot of success, most or like equal to the most success that we've had as a franchise in its history. I don't understand a salary cap move after that, especially because Karl Anthony Towns was really good for us. Nobody was good in the Dallas series, so that I'm not whatever. He was great. Loyal guy, stuck through the mud, through the Jimmy Butler era, through the all the crazy stuff that has happened. Um, he's been there. He accepted a new role. I'm bummed that he was moved, especially on just a salary trade because I love the trade for the Knicks. I think they win the trade for sure. I think this is not a great deal for Minnesota. I don't love that we already have a center who can't stay on the floor offensively, and now we've added Julius Randle, who, yes, he's been an All NBA player several times in his career in New York, but he's just not the spacer that Karl Anthony Towns is. Obviously, Cat is an exception. He's one of the best floor spacing bigs we've seen, but it's not even close. Um, I think Julius Randle's a pretty unreliable shooter, especially from the outside. He's a good scorer. He's just not a great outside shooter, in my opinion. And so when I look at the fit now, it doesn't feel good. It does not feel good. Um, I think, one, Julius won't start the season because he's hurt. He's still recovering from that shoulder surgery. So we're already probably just going to start Naz Reid. But even when Julius comes back, I think, obviously you lose some length on the defensive end, which was part of our huge strength last year. And now you have added in a ball dominant player. I know that there have been reports of this is like the move that's going to open up Anthony Edwards to really just be the guy and take control and stuff, but you've now put an influx of ball dominant play into the offense where Julius Randle, he's just way more useful when he has the ball than when he doesn't have the ball, whereas Karl Anthony Towns has gravity. It seems like a stretch, but he's a great shooter, so he can stand in the corner and he's actually threatening to the defense. Whereas if Julius Randle is standing in the corner, I don't think the defense doesn't have to stretch out all the way to him when he doesn't have the ball. Not a great off-ball player in my opinion. He needs the ball in his hands because the trick of his trade is making tough shots, which ironically is also Anthony Edwards' trick in a lot of instances. So now we've got two of those guys. Hopefully Anthony Edwards continues on his trajectory, but I don't love this Julius Randle fit, especially in the playoffs where obviously Cat has a storied history with his playoff performances. But man, Julius Randle is bad in the playoffs. I don't know if we've seen a playoff series where he's been good. I don't know. I don't remember one. So that's a little scary, especially when you already have to be careful about how you use Gobert in the playoffs. We can't have both of our front court starters get played off the floor. We can't. So I don't love it. Now, the Anthony Edwards piece, right? We're talking about this could be the move that opens up a lot for Anthony Edwards as like the guy. He might take on some more ball handling responsibility. And like I said before, I don't love that Julius Randle is such a ball dominant player. He needs the ball in his hand. I think that's gonna take away from Ant at times. But I think I like I'm just wondering what the next step for Edwards is. In my opinion, it's his playmaking. But for this to work, he needs Julius Randle to be a good off-ball player. Um, I think they're excited about him potentially being the primary ball handler, even though they've still got Mike Conley, they got Rob Dillingham. I think Anthony Edwards will be bringing the ball up the floor most of the time, or starting the offense most of the time. So I would love to see his assist bump up a little bit. I think he is obviously fantastic at making tough shots. Maybe his shot selection can be a little bit better, but I'm excited to just see him play. Truly, after the Team USA stint, I'm just very excited about him. It just stinks that we've got Julius Randle instead of Karl Anthony Towns right now. But who knows? Maybe it'll flip the other way. I will mention Dante DiVincenzo. This is fine. I think he's a good piece to acquire. But I, I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of kind of small wing players. Obviously, Nikhil plays a little bit bigger than his size, especially on the defensive end. But like our bench, we're looking at like Nikhil, Dante DiVincenzo, Rob Dillingham potentially, uh, Joe Ingles. So it's not like it's a good depth move, I guess. But it's just kind of we had a good guard or two. I don't know. He's good. I'm indifferent. Hopefully he can keep his shooting up. I don't know. We'll see. As for the playoffs, man, it feels like such a step back on paper. And it's a huge bummer considering the Timberwolves are in the conference finals. Going against a tough Dallas team. They beat the defending champions. Took 7 games to do it. Swept the Phoenix Suns. I think if that Denver series goes to 5 or 6, we have a way better chance of giving up the Mavericks a better fight at least. Potentially even winning that series if we're not just completely spent from that Denver series. That's neither here nor there. I don't think this team gets back to the conference finals. With the Thunder getting better, I think Dallas stayed about the same. And you have to give the finals team out of the West the credit that they're due. I think Denver is still scary. So I don't know. Maybe another top 3 or 4 seed this season. But the whole West got better. I don't think we got better. I think we got worse. And that doesn't bode well for our playoff hopes, especially considering that Julius Randle is a notorious playoff. What is the word? He's not a riser. He slumps in the playoffs. He plays poorly. I'm nervous. The other part of this conversation that is just really difficult is the contract, because he's an expiring deal. The Timberwolves either have to let him walk or probably pay him a bajillion dollars, and they're stuck in the same situation that they were with Karl Anthony Towns' contract, which is really frustrating. I don't see the vision. Hopefully I do. I'm optimistic about this team in the regular season. I think we're going to win a ton of games. I think the defense is still going to be a top 5, maybe top 10 defense at worst. The offense, I think, will be shaky. Will probably be middle of the pack again. But I think some nights will look fantastic and other nights will be Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle taking tough contested mid-range shots and missing all night long, and it's just going to be a horrible viewing experience. So we're going to find out. I'm excited, but skeptical. Those are my thoughts.